Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to we'll call it a revised, different version of Barstools and Bandtalk, Rimshots with Sean. I have, you guys are just in the Michigan area. I have Ava and Brock Morris. Welcome from, I'm going to let you guys say the name of your band. The name of your band is?
Frame 42.
And you guys have, you've worked on something. You have something coming out that's very exciting. When I talked to Jamie, I thought that I had no idea even that was you. I thought that was a male singer. That's amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, you kind of dumb for me to not pick up on that. But tell me about some of your influences because very unique voice.
Oh, thank you. Well, I love the Beatles are my absolute number one. I went to go see them in like fourth grade. I saw the Cirque du Soleil in Vegas, and I was like, that is so crazy good. And then I've just been obsessed with them. But I love all the classic rock. Brock got me into more of like the hard rock, like, the Alice in Chains and like Metallica kind of metally. And recently I've kind of been into the Pretty Reckless and Taylor Momsen and some Hailstorm. I'm kind of just all over the board. I love Greta Van Fleet too, who actually they grew up like 40 minutes from us, which is pretty cool. But I'm pretty much all over the map, but just love rock and roll.
You mentioned Lizzie Hale. I absolutely loved Lizzie Hale. I think that band is lights out. So Brock, I mean, if you Alice in Chains, were you a Seattle guy? Were you a grunge guy? Were you before that?
Not really that much. It's mainly just Alice in Chains and like I'm also into mainly I dabble in death metal and like my favorite band is Meshuggah. I went to go see them back in September. Awesome show, highly recommend. I love Death, Lamb of God, any type of band like that. I'm all in on.
We just had love to get your thoughts on this before we go on to your material. We just had an announcement in my neck of the woods that Guns N' Roses are playing here. And the announcement was yesterday. Tickets went on sale today. And the internet blew up because seats were $1,000 and seats were $1,500 and the nosebleeds were $150. And there was an awful lot of people that were complaining, and my thoughts were, okay, well, the people that were doing the most complaining are the ones that ask for free tickets to my shows when I do them, yet they're willing to pay that much. What are your thoughts on that now and ticket prices and what we're seeing?
That's pretty crazy. I feel like 1,000's probably too much. I guess it depends on the seat. If you're up close, like front row, I'd expect them to be pretty high, but I guess it just depends. I know Taylor Swift, there was a whole thing about her ticket sales through Ticketmaster. Something happened where tickets were going for like $100,000 for her concert. It's crazy, but I know we're probably going to go see Leonard Skinner in the summer. Tickets are like $30 for the lawn, and we're pretty content there.
Well, that's $30 American. That is like $600 Canadian. I'm only halfway down, but we're pretty good.
Yeah.
So enough about those guys. Let's talk about you guys now. So, how long have you been a band? And has your focus been always on your own material, or did you do what some of the other ones do and go out and kind of beat the bushes with covers and whatnot?
Yeah, we've been a band for about probably 6 years, coming up on. And, we started, I've been singing kind of by myself. And then I saw Michael, our guitar player, I saw him playing and told my friend, I was like, he's really good. We got to get him in a band. And then we found Lucas along the way through a friend in the local music industry in Michigan. Lucas is our drummer. And then from there, we rounded Brock and Ben, our other guitarist, up. And for about 6 years, we've been playing ever since. But we did start with covers until very recently, actually, because we only had about 5 or 6 originals. So for our long gigs, like we had some 4-hour shows. We have to fill that time with a lot of covers, but we're glad now to be breaking out of that and to show people our originals and finally have enough material to cover some longer shows.
I would say that anybody that, ever says, playing covers is kind of a cop out. I disagree because, I love doing my own stuff, but when you do covers, you have to be able to cover many different artists and many different styles, right? So it actually does help you hone your craft and become a better player. So,
yeah,
absolutely.
And you guys did that, so it obviously helped in your writing process. And again, I heard the first tune. Brock, tell me about that. What was the process like? I mean, again, I had and I'm looking at you, Abe, and I'm going like, there's no way. You got to convince me. I'm just absolutely blown away. But talk to me about the process of what you guys went through to get that onto tape.
Well, we usually start with just like bringing a riff or two in, somebody bringing in a song, and like, what do we think about this? And then we just went into pre-production with our producer, Toby Wright. We spent the fall fleshing out these songs, and like, I am pretty proud of them. I'm sure you are too. And like, it's pretty cool. And now they're finally coming out, and it's going to be sick.
Yeah, when Jamie sent me the first one, I was again, I'm used to, and I hate to say this, but because I interview so many different people, I'm used to a lot of things kind of sounding a little bit the same. And the last, I'm going to say 2 or 3 artists that I've talked to, it seems like they're getting a lot better at hiding their influences, which I would maybe say that you guys are. I wouldn't have picked Alice in Chains out of what I was hearing. I even Hailstorm or whatever. So you guys have done a good job, I guess, to mask who you're listening to.
Cool. Thank you. That's
Thank
a big
you.
compliment because it means a lot to us to be original and bring something special to the table that nobody's done before. Not that we're doing anything groundbreaking, but
Well, but I mean, let's call it what it is, right? I mean, there's only so many notes on a guitar. There's only so many beats
right.
on the drums. I mean, guys like Neil Peart and Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater and guys like that have kind of, they always seem to reinvent. But I come from the school that there's been an awful lot of good material that's already been written. So take from it, borrow it, but make it your own. Is that a fair statement?
Right. Yeah, I'm scared. What if we write something that's a song somewhere else that we don't know about? That's always something in the back of my mind, but
Yeah, me too.
I think it's pretty, well, I don't know if it's probably harder to write something like note for note of a different song that you've never heard, but maybe you'd be surprised.
So, and again, and Brock, I'm coming back to you, but I'm not leaving you there in the sidelines. Don't worry. But I like to ask when I interview female singers, but performers. I play in a band with a female singer, and sometimes it seems like there's a little bit more. The girl has to prove herself, right? It's like the guys can be whatever, but the girls seem to get judged. Maybe their hair doesn't look good, or their voice is just okay, but whatever. You really seem to be comfortable in the setting that we're here right now. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I'm pretty ready. I've come a long way because I used to let some comments get to me, but like just Facebook comments or whatever, just people always have an opinion on anything. But I've kind of learned that what's most important is you got to make yourself happy because you can't make everybody else happy because it's impossible. And people will kind of think what they want about you. And if it's negative, there's not really much you can do to change that. But the people that love you, just got to stick with them and find a good space to surround yourself.
That's a great. You know what? I could have used that answer about 1 o'clock this afternoon when somebody that was on my page felt the need to critique something. So thank you very much for that.
It's a hard lesson to learn, and it takes a long time to learn it. But I think I'm coming to the place where I'm pretty much at peace.
Well, look, and I'll tell you, I tell this story a lot, but you guys have never heard it, so you can laugh like you've never heard it. But I did a show with one of my bands. It was the first show, and getting ready to play, and somebody comes up, and I'm a drummer, and they say, "There's 10 drummers in the audience," and all I could think of saying was, "I get their $10. They can leave anytime they want." And basically, I did my work. I knew I was ready. You like me, great. You don't, that's fine too. I'm there for myself. Brock, are you going to get in that headspace? Or are you maybe there now? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been seeing quite an influx of negative comments recently in the past year as our band has been growing and stuff. And it's like, I personally, as bad as it probably is, I think they're really funny. And like, there's one that I put like a TikTok out, and somebody said, my mullet, which,
Non-existent.
yeah,
whatever, bro.
there goes credibility already. My mullet looks like there's cars shit. And I have no idea what that means, but I think it's so funny. And like, yeah, it's dumb and I love it.
Yeah. And again, you're going to get that, right? I mean, it's real easy to sit on a keyboard and pound away making some comments. But I mean, I find it really hard if they're actually listening to what you guys do, if they've seen you. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm the foremost music whatever of anything, other than the fact that I know my stuff. I know what I like. And when Jamie sent it to me, I was impressed, but I was actually impressed by how young you guys are. Which is, and I would say get ready to hear quite a bit of that too, because one of the things that you'll find is the older people might get a little bit jealous because the younger people are getting some attention and maybe stealing some of the racetrack.
Yeah, and I remember one time sticks out because we were probably like 16 at the time, and we're playing at a venue in Michigan. And before we go on stage, someone called us the ABC band. We were like, whoa, ABC band. Well, but then we ended up putting on a great show, and they were moshing by the end of it. So that's always the best feeling too.
It is. So I tell you what we're going to do, guys. I like to do this in 2 segments. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break. And when I say a little break, it's going to be a very little break. People aren't going to see what's going to happen here in the background. We're going to come back and we're going to do segment 2 with Ava, with Brock, Frame 42. Love, again, what part of Michigan are you guys from?
Lapeer. So can show you on the map, probably about here.
Yeah. Just east of Flint.
Oh, Flint, which I know Flint very well, because in my neck of the woods, our AHL hockey team used to send their guys that got cut to Flint, Michigan to play hockey. So I know
The Firebirds.
Yeah, that's right. We're back after this.